Well, good morning. Today, I wonder if you can guess what's in the case. Let's see. I can get all these latches. I wonder if they could put more latches on this case. I get to work on this beauty. This is a 2011 Taylor 520 Dreadnought acoustic. My buddy brought me this guitar. Beautiful instrument. I have a Taylor 414 that I bought in 2001 and I just love it. But as you can see here, he is breaking this G string right there at about the 6th fret. So we're going to take a look at that. There's a little bit of fret wear on this that we're going to do some work with getting the frets polished, flattened out. And also he put extra light Ernie Ball 10s on this guitar. So we're going to switch those out to 11s, make some adjustments to the truss rod to get that all squared away so it'll handle those 11s. I think probably breaking strings just because these strings are so light, and he is a hell of a guitar player and he might just be hitting it a little hard. So hang in there, we'll be back. Okay, here's this beautiful Taylor guitar sitting here on my desk, and it's got a couple of little dings in the finish, but it's in pretty good shape. This guy is very meticulous, keeps his house super clean, and takes very good care of his instruments. So what we're going to do today is pull the strings off of this, give the neck a real good cleaning. There's a lot of debris and DNA on this neck that we need to get knocked off of there. Seeing a bit of cracking starting here on this ebony, and probably going to encourage him to do some serious humidification for this guitar. Taking a cotton rag, putting it inside a plastic bag, and just dropping it inside the guitar. You cut some holes in the plastic bag and drop it inside the guitar. Perfect cheap humidifier for an acoustic. My Taylor is sitting in a case right now with that humidifier in the case with it, and it's working great. So gonna get the strings pulled off of this first thing. I'm not even gonna bother checking the action, string action, or neck relief at this point. We're gonna pull the strings off of this guitar and set the neck perfectly flat, and we'll get to work on these frets. Gonna get a little better shot down at this end so you can see what we do with the bridge pins. These tools have a wonderful design in the end here that allows you to pop the bridge pins out. Really awesome tool. These are ebony bridge string pins in this guitar, so we want to be real careful with these. They are beautiful, and I think they contribute a lot to the tonal qualities of a Taylor guitar. They're in my book some of the best built instruments I've ever played, and I've played lots of them. This is ebony mahogany. It looks like maybe a koa headstock overlay, and a mahogany neck, mahogany back and sides, all solid wood. This guitar just sounds great, even sitting on this old desk. Not sure how brown this will turn out. Try and get my head out of the way there. Ah, yeah, a little bit of goo. Here we go. You gotta keep these babies clean. Look at all that. That is guck. DNA. Skin, oil. Yeah, This neck is starting to get a little bit of a crack right here in the fretboard. And these are notorious for that. The Taylors are just notorious for that little bit of a... it's a very common thing that happens in these guitars. They get dried out just the slightest little bit, and they are notorious for cracking right here at the end of the fretboard. Upward, you can't even play the thing, but some guys do. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Since this guitar has dried out so much, I'm going to do a little bit of an inspection here on the frets to see if we have any frets that have pushed out or gotten sharp. Those feel awesome. I don't feel any irregularity or sharp points or anything like that on the fretboard. So I think we're okay with respect to that. Alright. So I want to check the fretboard for being level. So in doing that, I think this is a So we're checking the fretboard for levelness, and this fretboard has a massive back bow in it. Well, I should be careful in saying massive. The fretboard is rather than being bowed in this direction or flat, it actually has a hump in the middle right here around the 7th fret. Which means I need to pull the truss rod cover off of this guitar and turn the truss rod. We're going to loosen the truss rod, and that should allow this neck to come up and level out. I want to be working on this frets when the neck is perfectly level. That way I know that I'm working on a level playing field, and when I do measurements and things like that, that everything is perfectly level. Alright. Taylor has a very specific wrench size that they give you with every guitar, I believe, that you buy from Taylor. They should have a truss rod wrench in the case. Alright, so we're going to loosen this. Oh yeah, and that thing is nice and solid and tight. It seems to be working. I'm going to give it a pretty good amount of turn there. Check the levelness of this fretboard again. And that baby is perfect. Alright, so breaking strings here at the 6th fret. Doing a little visual inspection and feeling it. I don't feel any burrs or anything like that that would indicate or potentially break strings. So what I'm going to do is just simply polish these frets. I'm going to start with a 1500 grit sandpaper up here and get these things shined up. Doesn't take much. A little bit of elbow grease. These things will be shining like diamonds when I'm done here. I doubt that this guitar, since it was purchased in 2011 or 12, has probably ever had a polish job done on these frets. So it's time to get these things nice and polished, and this will take away any burrs, potential string breakers. Yeah, these guys up here have a lot of just residue. You know, smoke from campfires, or if you're burning a wood stove in your house. These frets up here where they don't get played can get pretty covered in just shit. Alright, that was our 1500. Time to move on to the big guns. 2000. I can tell these frets are already looking so much smoother. Just taking microns of material off of this with this sandpaper. Just microns. These frets are in really good shape. They aren't showing a ton of wear. Really good shape. We're going to polish them up, make them nice and shiny. Play guitar on the MTV. Pretty remarkable how this light sanding can take a guitar that's having issues and turn it into something really good. You get a little black goo on your fingertips doing this kind of work. You can see that. Fingers are pretty gnarly. Okay, I'm going to go rinse my hands off, and we are going to hit this guitar with Never Dull. And I'll be right back. Alright, so I take this opportunity to check all the machine heads, make sure none of this stuff is loose. Sometimes if you tap on the guitar, you can hear one of the little nuts rattle up here on the truss or on the machine heads, and you'll think your guitar is buzzing, and it'll sound like it's coming from down here or something, and it's actually right there. So I just finished polishing the frets with 2000 grit sandpaper, and now I'm using an exorbitant amount of Never Dull to way too much. That's like 10 times as much as you need, but I'm going to give this a good work over. I'll break this into two pieces. See how shiny these bad boys get. Try and keep my head out of the way. So again, I've cleaned the fretboard with simple green and filed these frets. And the guitar was pretty dirty. There was a lot of gum on these fretboard, but you can see that that still a lot of powder from doing the sanding, and just debris coming off of the fretboard. Never Dull won't damage raw wood. You should not use it on a varnished fretboard, like say on a Telecaster or something like that. I'm going to go over them one more time with another piece just to make sure I've gotten everything I can off of the fretboard, and I'm hoping my coffee doesn't spill. Maybe I should take a drink of that, knock it down a little. You might notice my pad that I'm using underneath the guitar. This is my recording studio slash guitar repair desk, and I bought this at the dollar store, or not dollar store. I bought it at a company called People Helping People here in La Grande. I think it cost me 5 cents for a roll of that stuff. Works great. This little figment that I'm seeing here almost looks like it's just a little variance in the grain of the wood, but I can't tell if it's a repair. Maybe they filled that. They had a really nice piece of ebony and it had a little ding in it, but they went ahead and used it. It's got one little light spot there that I really like. Kind of cool. Ebony tends to generally be pitch black. This one has a little teeny light spot there. So really beautiful. I'm going to go over this one more time with the Never Dull, real quick, and we'll see. I'm just going to do one fret here, and you can see how much stuff is still coming off of that. This stuff works great for silverware, all the metal trim on your electric guitars, metal trim on a boat, makes stuff shine. Really knocks the crap off of it. Make sure to remove any of that gets onto the top of the guitar. Now it's time to treat the neck with some linseed oil. I'm trying to go as conservative as I can with paper towels. I don't like wasting them. Again, ebony is a very, it's not a very porous type wood, so it really won't absorb a ton of oil. So we're just going to try and do a few little drops. Look at my handshake. That is plenty for this entire neck. Put the lid back on that. Put that away. This stuff smells wonderful too. There's linseed oil that's boiled, and this stuff is in its raw form. Generally, with the use of this linseed oil, you just kind of massage it into the wood, wipe off any of the excess. Alright, so got the fretboard oiled. The fret's all perfectly smooth. We're going to check the levelness of the fretboard one more time. Let's see if we've got a good flat fretboard. This is perfect. So, when I put strings on this guitar, what's going to happen is the tension of the strings pulling on this neck should give me a slight bit of relief here in the middle of the neck, and we'll check that with our feeler gauges and see where we're at. Strings, where'd they go? Oh, I'm way over here. Look at me, I'm way over here. Oh, he doesn't want those. He wants, oh yeah, these. Using a set of Ernie Ball Earthwood Light 11s. A lot of questions on how to change strings on an acoustic guitar or an electric guitar. Wound strings. This is exactly how I do it. 2 wraps around the post. Put some tension on that string and tighten it up. That sounds like E. I'm going to go ahead and put the 2 outside strings on and check our string height. Just with 2 strings on the guitar. We'll see if we have any relief at this point. Nice. Now let's see how good my ear is. I'll throw a tuner on this. Holy shit. You just watched me put these strings on here. And here's my snark piece of shit tuner. I just tuned it by ear. That's going to be a little flat. My goodness. I'm doing this too long. Alright, so now we're going to check the string height. We want to use inches, and we're looking for, on a Taylor, I'm looking for 5/64, and this is exactly 5/64. So the string height on this, the action on these strings is really nice. Now when I put more strings on here, I'm expecting this neck to get pulled a little bit and maybe increase the height here, but this is absolutely perfect. On the high E, we're seeing 3/64. It's perfect. So we're just going to roll, keep rolling, keep putting strings on here. I've just put so many strings on so many guitars and tuned a guitar so many fucking times I can hear an E. Alright, stretch these bad boys out, get them tuned up. And we don't fuck around stretching strings. I'm not going to sit down and play my guitar to stretch the strings. I'm going to play it when it's in tune. Stays in tune. Why waste your time playing a guitar that just goes out of tune? As you can see, I'm not a pussy about stretching these. Okay, time to check the neck relief. We're going to check it. I'm going to check my fret action here at the first fret. I'm not sure if this has had any work done to it to lower the action up here at the neck or at the first fret, but I'm looking for 20 thousandths, and it is perfect. I will not touch that, and I have a slight, yes, that's absolutely perfect. So we're going to check our relief out in the middle of the fretboard. We are looking for 12 thousandths, 13. Check this. Point down at the 17th fret, and we're looking for 12 thousandths. Fifth. I hope you can see me doing this. I'm going to try and get a good angle here for you. Again, we fret the guitar at the 17th fret, and we take our gauge and insert it here at the 5th, and we're looking for 12 thousandths, and that is absolutely perfect. I don't think we're going to need to do much else to this guitar other than let it sit for a little while. I did move the truss rod slightly, but
trimming of the strings.
Peace.